Hello guys, how you getting on? My name is Aaron Kelly. A very welcome back to another episode of the Premier League verdict. Chelsea 0, Arsenal 1 in what I'd have to describe as a horrible game of football to watch, a horrible result, and a horrible performance by Chelsea. And we've become very used to really good performances and really good results recently, that this just felt like a massive kick in the balls, to be quite honest with you. Let's get into it. Thomas Tuchel made 7 changes from the side that beat Manchester City the weekend, and there were 7 changes really with players coming back in that you'd expect would be usual starters if you were picking Chelsea's best team. There was returns for the likes of Thiago Silva, Kurt Zouma came in for Rudiger. That was probably one that you wouldn't expect to be in Chelsea's best team. But there was also, Mason Mount was back, Kai Havertz was back. And Kepa Arrizabalaga also got a shout in goal over Edouard Mendy. And I think this might have been one of the biggest downfalls for Chelsea last night is the amount, not Kepa, but the amount of changes that Thomas Tuchel made going into this side, or into this game, maybe was too many, to be honest. And I know he's probably resting a few for, the FA Cup final. Obviously, there was no Kante, there was no Rudiger. Obviously, Christensen got injured the weekend. Mendy was out as well. Players that will be starting the FA Cup final on Saturday if they're fit. But I still would have said going into this, Chelsea have enough in that starting 11 to beat this Arsenal side who are just having the worst possible time of it at the minute. They've been really struggling in all competitions. It's been another horrendous season for them. The highlight of their season really has been beating us back in December. An unbelievable win in one of Frank Lampard's final games. Chelsea had a really good chance with only like 10 minutes gone. Kai Havertz should score one-on-one after doing really well actually to steal it off Pablo Mari. Absolutely smashes it over the bar. It was a really bad effort, to be quite honest. And, we're very quick to slate Timo Werner, so I really do think Kai Havertz, it's a horrendous criminal miss, especially when you look at how badly the game went for us from that moment on. And then the goal was scored, still relatively early on in the game. Jorginho gets the ball off Kurt Zouma and tries to do one of these Jorginho passes where he's not really looking where he's passing it. He's just kind of, expecting who his target is going to be where he wants him to be. In this particular instance, it was Kepa. He tries to pass it back to him, expects him to be between the sticks, but Kepa was in fact trying to give him a bit of an angle for a better, safer pass. And the ball is going into the back of the net, and Kepa actually does really well. I hear Alan Smith on commentary in Sky Sports saying that Kepa should do better, trying to blame Kepa for the goal. Absolute bollocks, to be quite honest with you. He actually makes a really good save, Kepa. Chelsea are in 6s and 7s. Aubameyang pulls it back, and Emile Smith-Rowe puts in the opening goal for Arsenal, and what turned out to be the winning goal. And it's a criminal mistake from Jorginho, who has been really good recently, I have to say. It was not only this mistake that was really bad, but his performance overall was just absolutely horrendous, like really bad. And him and Billy Gilmour had a really tough time of it. And I felt a little bit sorry actually for Billy Gilmour, that he was the one that was taken off at half-time, not Jorginho. Chelsea still had chances. Mason Mount forced a good block out of Rob Holding. Pulisic should have scored with a header after Zouma got the initial touch on it. Pulisic just kind of lifted over the bar. And the second half really followed the same pattern. Arsenal protecting their lead, 11 men behind the ball, and Chelsea were not enough speed of passing and not enough urgency in our play to ever really look like we were going to break down this Arsenal team. And it was really bad to watch, really. It was a horrendous game. Hudson-Odoi and Giroud were 2 subs that Thomas Tuchel brought on fairly early on in the second half, and they made a decent impression, but not enough to force any real clear-cut openings for Chelsea massively, really. Yes, I know Zouma hit the bar and Giroud hit the bar, but the chances being created were few and far between, it's fair to say. People are saying Havertz could have had a penalty or two. I mean, maybe. VAR doesn't even look at them. He's tripped, definitely on one occasion in the box, which could have been given, but these things swing in roundabouts. Chelsea should have conceded a penalty the weekend. Kurt Zouma should have conceded one to Sterling. So it feels like one of those things that kind of balances itself out and swings in roundabouts. On another day, we've seen them given, and on another day it may have been given, but it wasn't. So tough shit, really. Christian Pulisic missed another great chance after a good ball from Hudson-Odoi, and I think he should do better. He slips at the vital moment. He also had a goal ruled out for offside, rightfully so. And overall, it just leaves things a little bit more nervy. Going into this weekend, or after the weekend, I would have said to myself that Chelsea are in a wonderful position now for top 4. And, you know, don't get me wrong, we're still in the box seat and still in control of our own destiny. But, you know, if Liverpool win their 2 games in hand now, which obviously one of them is tonight against Manchester United, they win their 2 games in hand, they're only a point off Chelsea. So again, it's making things difficult when they don't have to be. To be quite honest, I do think if Chelsea had won the game last night, which against an out-of-form Arsenal team, a lot of people, including me, would have been expecting them to, I would be very happy in saying that Chelsea would be close to, if not in the clear, when it comes to top 4. But it was just an absolutely horrendous performance and probably the worst possible way to prepare for an FA Cup final. And I gotta give kudos to Arsenal. I mean, I can't say their performance was exceptionally brilliant or they were, you know, great value for the win. But what they did do when they got their goal, they sat back 11 men behind the ball and defended exceptionally resiliently and exceptionally well. Not as good a performance from them as the one when they beat us back in December, but I do think it's up there with some of Arsenal's best results of the season so far to go to Stamford Bridge and win. It's their first win at Stamford Bridge since Mikel Arteta himself was playing for Arsenal back in 2011. So it's a great win for them. Lifts them up to 8th in the table. It's still going to be a big stretch for them to reach European football. But Chelsea need to pick this up, and the good news for us is that we're going to have the likes of Mendy, Rudiger, Kante, Kovacic back hopefully as soon as possible. And, you know, I think that's something that Thomas Tuchel will, you know, he definitely took full responsibility, and fair play to him for doing that. For making so many changes, it probably was the wrong decision when we look at it. And, you know, at least he acknowledges that. But they got to pick it up now because we've got a few really, really big games now towards the end of the season. We've got Leicester, firstly, in the FA Cup final of the weekend. Then we're playing them in the league. And then Aston Villa is our final league game before the Champions League final. But, yeah, this one really hurt. I can't lie. This result really hurt. It's never nice losing to Arsenal, and they've done the double over us and broken their duck at Stamford Bridge. So it's fair to say I went to bed a little bit early last night. That's all there really is to say, lads. I mean, it was a game of very few chances. I've taken some notes. I've covered them all at this point. Not even 10 minutes into the recording. It was just a bad game of football. It really was, and Arsenal got their goal and sat back. But when they did get the ball forward, I felt in the second half, they still actually looked more dangerous than us in the few times they did get forward with the ball. There was one instance where they played the ball nicely down the left-hand side between Tierney, I think, and Smith Rowe and Aubameyang. Just really, really bad. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, with your notifications on. I know there has been an awful lot on this channel over the last couple of weeks, other than verdicts. Because, as I've said a couple of times now, I've been incredibly busy, but my college work is all done now, and I'm actually, in fact, going out to record 2 big football videos this weekend, so I'm very much looking forward to that. Better times ahead and bigger videos ahead this summer, I can promise you that. So, yeah, we're going to leave it there, lads. Leave a like if you enjoyed, as I said. Subscribe if you're new as well, and we'll see you next time. Take care and good luck. I've been trying to find a way to